Hello, this is the Kpop Album Tag 2017. It is a little late, a few days late, but it is for 2017. So, good enough. Also, if there's a lot of weird noises and light in this video, it's because there was a huge snowstorm yesterday, so everything's moving outside and it's noisy, and there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm sorry. Yeah, the light is changing constantly, so we're just going with it. We're going with it, and we're just gonna pretend like it's not terrible. So to start off, I thought I would just go through all the albums I bought physically this year, starting with A and going in order of release by group in alphabetical order, more or less. I might have messed it up, but we're gonna just go with it. So I got April's Prelude, which is great. Then I got April's Mayday single, and I will be getting their other release for this year, but I haven't gotten it yet. Chungha's first mini album from WJSN, which is the I Wish release. And I got both versions of WJSN's first full album, Happy Moment, the Happy version and the Moment version, which don't stay up. Then CLC's first release for the year, Chris Style with Hobgoblin, the title track. CLC's other release for the year, Forget Them. Dreamcatcher's second single, Fell Asleep in the Mirror, and their first mini album, Prequel. And I will be getting the first single at some point, but it's expensive, so. Then I have both versions of GFriend's The Awakening, the fourth mini album. Fingertip is the title track. I also have both versions of GFriend's fifth mini album, Parallel. And I do not have the repackage, but I will get it at some point because I love the repackage. I have La Boom's second mini album, Miss This Kiss, with Hui Hui as the title track, and Yeohee's last release. I have Melody Days, Kiss on the Lips, their second mini album, I believe. Yes. I have Red Velvet's Rookie. I got the Yeri version. I ended up trading for it because I love Yeri so much. Red Velvet's The Red Summer, otherwise known as the album of the summer. And Red Velvet's second full album, Perfect Velvet, Peekaboo, which I believe will have a repackage very soon, which I cannot. And I have Jessica's My Decade, her third mini album, and her anniversary mini album. Really cool. Right, so that is it for my physical copies. I got a lot less than I have, even though I did get a lot still because I started college and I wanted to start saving money on them because they are expensive, so, but, yeah. Alright, so I'm actually going to be doing a tag in reverse order from 10 to 1, so that the last one is my favorite K-pop album of 2017. And so we will start off with number 10, a random album recommendation. I'm not sure how random this is, but my rec is Melody Day's Kiss on the Lips, because Melody Day needs more love, because their songs are great. They're great. They are on the unit right now, so you should support them on the unit. I haven't been watching it that much because I'm a little sick of all the survival shows, but this is a great album. It's beautiful. And all the songs are good, especially the title track, which is great. Alright, so number 9 is my favorite Subunit album of 2017, and there really weren't that many subunits this year. I mean, there never really are, but so I'm just gonna kind of give shout-outs to all the ones I can think of. So, and I'm kind of hesitant to count the Luna subunits because, like, they're not really debuted yet. So, yeah. So I really loved Ice 2 by Gugudan Ugu Ugu, which is ridiculous to say, but, yeah, so I was, like, thinking about this, and I was like, I think the only subunit this year was Gugudan Ugu Ugu, so, but they deserve a good spot on this list, because that was such a cute song, and it didn't have a physical release, and I don't think I'm gonna collect Gugudan anyway, but that was cool, and also 1/3 and Odd-Eyed Circle were great. So those are really the only 3 subunits that I know of. There were probably others. I mean, I guess there was Newest W, but I don't really count that. Right, so number 8 is my favorite non-Korean album released by a K-pop group. And that one was pretty easy for me this year because Twice's One More Time single is so good. I always have this thing where I'm like, I always end up liking groups' Japanese original releases better than their Korean ones. It happened to me with Girls' Generation, and now it's happening to me with Twice. I think there might have been a physical for that, but I don't have it. It would be really expensive, because Japanese albums are really expensive, and they're K-pop groups. But, yeah, it's Twice's One More Time, and it's on iTunes, so you can go get it there. I have it there. So number 7 is an album that surprised me. So, first of all, we'll talk about an album that surprised me in a good way. Laboom's Miss Biscuits. I have loved Laboom for a long time. However, I thought that this release was superior because the B-sides are, like, just as good as the title track. And I think it's really solidifying them as a more permanent group because I think that things were a little hairy for a little while. And they have lost a member since this release, but I think that they will still continue to release things. It surprised me that the rest of the songs were as high of a quality as the title track. And they've always had decent B-sides, but, like, it surprised me. This was a pleasant surprise. And I'm also just going to give a honorable mention in the surprise category to The Awakening from G-Friend because I am happy that they decided to change things up, and I think it worked really well. I know not everyone liked it, but I did. I like both concepts from them, and I thought that I like some of the B-sides better than the other ones, but, like, Hear the Wind Sing and Rain in the Springtime were really good, so, I listened to those just as much as Fingertip, and Fingertip is great, and I don't understand why people don't like Fingertip. But yes, this was also a pleasant surprise that they were able to switch so well. So number 6 is my favorite K-pop album by a rookie boy group, and I'm not really big on boy groups, standing them in general, although I do listen to them, but I'm not, like, into them. But I really love Astro. Yeah, I really like everything they've released, and it's not often that a boy group really gets my attention, so I'm going to kind of just give the spot to everything Astro did in 2017, and they are almost free of their rookie status, so I'm getting them on there this year because I won't be able to do them next year because they won't be rookies anymore. So, Astro. So, number 5 is my favorite album from a rookie girl group this year, which was a little more difficult than I thought because I realized that a lot of groups that have been standing have kind of shed their rookie status, but the ones that are still rookies would be Cosmic Girls and Dreamcatcher. So I think that I would give that shout out to both of them because they both had really awesome releases this year, and I think that some of the side tracks on here were really awesome, and I also really love this. I really love this. It's a single though, so I didn't want to totally give it its own slot, whereas I like this one a little bit better than this one, but I think that I will give it to this one overall because I'm really glad that they got their first album. I'm not 100% happy that they're kind of going more in this direction, but I do hope that they will go back and do more things like Secret and I Wish, so we will see where Starship decides to go with that And I really hope they kind of stay in the more dreamy Space Girls concept more than just the cheerleaders. Number 4 is my least favorite packaging of 2017, and I didn't hate any packaging, but I am going to talk about these 3. So, there's nothing wrong with this. However, CLC is a group where all of their albums are about the same size, and this is about the same size as their other albums. However, all the other albums are like this, and this one is like this. And it's annoying because, on the shelf, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna have it like this, so I store it like this, and it looks weird. And the other thing is, it looks like it's going to open like this, and then the pictures are like this. So they might as well have just made it so that kind of bothers me. It's not a huge deal. I've seen worse. It's not inconvenient or anything. And the other thing is the binding looks like it's gonna fall apart at any minute, but I think it's fine. I think it's just supposed to look like that, but it makes me nervous. And CLC also gets another mention on this list for their other release because of this thing. It's what? And it looks like it's gonna fall off at any minute, and it's kind of weird when you're flipping through, and it's just flopping around. Okay, that's shiny. It's very shiny. Yeah, I think Keep's trying to get cool with their packaging, and I'm like, no, just put this as a picture on the front. And then I'm just gonna mention this one because this just comes off, and this could be lost very easily. And the other thing is, the album was also meant to be a calendar, so it ends, the picture, the photo book ends right here, and the rest of it is a planner, and it can be used for any year, there's no specific year on it, but I'm not gonna use my album as a planner. That's kind of weird because it's got the CD in it. I would break it. So I thought that they didn't want to do a season's greetings or something, but which they have done this year, and I have ordered it. It just has not come yet. Yeah, I think that it was a decent idea, but it doesn't really work the way I think they wanted to, and this is very losable. I don't like losable things in my albums. And it's also just the eternal struggle of albums that don't stay shut. This just flaps open, doesn't stay shut, and this is literally exactly the same thing. It does not stay shut. So it's okay, fine, don't give me a magnet. Okay, and here is number 3, my favorite packaging. Okay, so I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Chungha because the packaging is just so weird that it stood out to me. It folds out in this accordion thing, which I did an unboxing. Lots of people did unboxings of this. I don't hate it. It's weird, so it deserves a shout out. So yeah. And I love the way Dreamcatcher has packaged everything. But I think this was my favorite photo book out of all of them, so look how pretty it is. And you take it out, and it's it's so pretty. And they're all gonna be like this, and that makes me so excited. So yeah. And it looks like a guidebook, to a historical haunted manor, and that was totally what they were going for, and they did a really good job. And finally, out of perhaps nostalgia and I don't know, emotion, I just love the packaging in this because the initial photo book is beautiful, and then in the back, Jessica put all these pictures of herself over the years, and it I got so emotional the first time I opened it. I was I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. and like it's all handwritten. She always handwrites her albums, and it's so pretty. It's such a nice pink, and it's also like I've never seen like an outside like this. It's like puffy. It's like squishy. Yeah, it's like squishy, kind of. I don't know. It's weird, but I like it. It also matches my wall. But yeah, it made me so happy to see like all the pictures of her from throughout the years, and like, I love jazz, and I can't believe it's been so long. Yes. So yeah, that packaging meant a lot to me, and I think this was my favorite aesthetically. Right, so my favorite photobook concept is WJSN's first full album, Happy Moment, but the happy version, which you can see my unboxing of it, and I was like pretty excited about it, but I've decided it is my favorite, other than perhaps Dreamcatcher. I didn't want to give Dreamcatcher every slot on this list. So, it's a very J-fashion-y type photo book, and I love these kind of clothes. I do have some, but I'm not like super well versed in it, but that was my favorite, and it is so pretty. I love it so much. And I did like it better than the other version of the album, which is a lot more subdued, but I am glad I got both. So the last one on this list, number 1, is my favorite K-pop album of 2017. And I thought this would be easy, but it's not. I like really loved everything released this year. It was really good for music. So I'm just gonna do a couple shout-outs before I like decide. So my first shout-out is to April's Prelude, because it has April's Story, and I know this wasn't like a huge hit, but like I loved it. Like the title track, especially, like really just the title track, but I thought it deserved a shout-out because I didn't really talk about it much in this video, and I think April's Story is really, really good, and it kind of was a turning point for them, and they decided, like, this is going to be our new sound, and I really approve of their newer sound. Like, it was just a little bit of a shift, but it was the shift they needed. So I think it's important to them, and I really like it. Right, and I'm going to talk about Red Velvet's second 2 releases of the year, whereas this is probably going to go down as their most important release ever, which makes me happy, because Red Velvet is, like, my number 1. And it's really good. Like, all the, like, Red Flavor was, like, the big hit, but, like, They're All Good, You Better Know was, like, solidified it as, like, an album that was well-loved. So, I love it. The packaging is great. Everything about it is great. There is nothing bad to say about this album. So, that's why it gets mentioned at the top of this list. And I also have to give a shout-out to Peekaboo, our Perfect Velvet. And I really love the second track on here, Look. I think this was a little bit stronger overall, like, but it did have fewer songs, so yeah. And it's going to be repackaged, and I can't wait. And I was also rather pleasantly surprised by Jump, because this is so good. This is upside down, but I actually love every song on here, whereas sometimes with, like, a solo artist's first release, like, the other songs won't be so good. I mean, with anyone's first release, like, maybe the title track is good, but no, this is a solid debut album. Like, I can't remember the last time a debut album was so solid. Like, she's releasing her next album this month, and I am so happy. I'm so excited. I think she's clearly the most successful out of all the IOI, all the girls that came from IOI. I think that this kind of says that she's going to be the most successful out of any of them. Maybe that won't hold true, but kind of hoping it does, because this is good stuff. This is good stuff. And of course, my sentimental self is like, Jessica's album. It's like sentimentally the most important to me. So yeah, so that gets another shout out. But I think my favorite, like, if I have to pick a favorite, it's going to be GFriend's Parallel and its repackaged Rainbow, which I still have to repackage, but it's gonna happen. And so I think the reason for that is because this has their best B-sides ever. Like, I can say that I can listen to the whole thing and enjoy every song. Whereas, like, a lot of groups, sometimes their B-sides are not as strong as their title tracks, whereas this is just as strong in its B-sides. So, in case you're wondering, the B-sides are Ave Maria One Half, Life is a Party, Red Umbrella, and Falling Asleep Again. And then they have, I think they might have another one on the repackage, but it's just as good. Whereas, like, the other albums, like, yeah, the B-sides were okay, but, like, every song on this mini album and the repackage could have been a title track. Like, it's that good. So, in terms of listenability, and I love the concept, I love the music videos, I loved both eras. It really solidified GFriend as successful and kind of has led them into their first concert, which I believe is later today. So, overall, I think this would be my favorite. I do it. My favorite. And I love it so much. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know what else I can say about it. It's so good. So, yes, my number one for 2017 is GFriend. So, if you haven't figured it out, I am a very indecisive person who can't pick one thing for most of the items on this list. But that's okay. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will leave the link to the original tag in the description below, and I will hopefully be back soon with something else, which I'm not quite sure what that'll be yet, but it'll probably be K-pop related because I have a problem. If that wasn't obvious already, I don't know what it is, but